is Brooke, and I'd like to show you a brief slice of one of the most amazing places on this planet. A place where my passion for the ocean, marine biology, and education took root. The beautiful Monterey Bay, located along the central coast of California. The Monterey Bay is so rich in marine life, it's been dubbed the Serengeti of the sea, with one of the most abundant and diverse populations of marine mammals anywhere in the world. Monterey is the centerpiece of America's largest marine sanctuary. It conceals an oceanic treasure, the Monterey Canyon, otherwise known as the Monterey Bay Trench. This underwater canyon is deeper and wider than the Grand Canyon, winding out for over 50 miles and reaches depths of 7,500 feet. The depths of this canyon are still a frontier to scientists, and they are discovering marine life never seen before. Exactly how many species call the Monterey Bay home is unknown. Today, however, I'd like to focus on the center of the Monterey Bay coastline, the shallow reaches of the Monterey Bay Trench, Elkhorn Slough. This tidally influenced wetlands is essential habitat that supports year-round and migratory residents. It is a dynamic ecosystem that is home to more than 700 species, including marine mammals, birds, and fish. The largest salt marsh in California, south of San Francisco Bay. It's located midway between Santa Cruz and Monterey. Hundreds of bird species use the slough as a resting spot during their annual migration. Migrating birds need a lot of food, and estuaries like Elkhorn Slough are important because they provide a reliable and abundant food supply. At peak fall and spring migrations, more than 20,000 shorebirds rest in the slough. It has been estimated there are over 340 known bird species depending on Elkhorn Slough. Great blue herons, snowy egrets, and red-tailed hawks are commonly found in the slough. The brown pelican and snowy plover are endangered or threatened bird species that thrive in the slough. You may gain special advantage while exploring this tidal estuary from the water. With 6 miles of beautiful coastal wetlands to paddle, one is sure to be surrounded by native inhabitants. Stand-up paddleboarding is one of the best ways to explore this unique ecosystem. The learning curve is very quick, and the first time you set out, you'll be cruising in a matter of minutes. You will instantly realize by standing on the board, you can see more that's going on in the water, and the higher perspective gives you a greater vantage point to look out on the wetlands. Some fish like topsmelt spend their entire lives in Elkhorn Slough. California halibut live offshore but migrate into tidal creeks to breed. Abundant food and protection from predators are among the reasons why they seek shelter within the estuary. It is not uncommon to come across sea otters, harbor seals, and California sea lions while visiting the slough. Harbor seals have an active birthing rookery and resting haulouts within the slough.
What do you think about that?
Sea otters have been known to breed in this area for a long time, but sea lions, California sea lions like those over there, they really haven't been breeding here. So, last year was the first year that they actually saw pups in this area of California sea lions. So you can see why now, where they're just all hauled out over there on the dock. And otters and harbor seals, they can't haul out on docks like that. The harbor seals is up we saw up in the little bit of a rookery up above, and over here in the corner, they get onto the mud flats because they can't stand up on their front legs, and so they can't haul out like the sea lions can up there on those docks. So they definitely segregate their habitats just by their body and how they can move around on land. The slough is subject to tidal fluctuations that can be quite strong. It is prudent to pay attention to the tides as they can catch you off guard. Tidal volume in the slough has doubled since 1950, with the average width of the tidal creeks increasing from 8 feet to over 40 feet in the last 70 years. Maintaining mudflat habitat is crucial to the health and wealth of the slough. The nutrient-rich water supports tremendous numbers of marine invertebrates harbored in the mudflats, including crabs, clams, and worms. Erosion and sediment loss is the most serious threat to this unique ecosystem. Agricultural pressure, river diversion, and dredging have all altered tidal flow. About 200 acres of valuable wetland habitat has been lost to erosion. The Army Corps of Engineers are currently constructing a $6 million sill, or underwater speed bump, to slow tidal currents in hope of minimizing the eroding effects and saving about 500 acres of wetlands. On a clear day, one of the most notable landmarks seen from Santa Cruz is the Moss Landing Power Plant. Its distinctive stacks mark the mouth of the Elkhorn Slough and the head of the Monterey Canyon. Moss Landing is home to 2 major research facilities, the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute and the Moss Landing Marine Labs, which serves the California State University system. About 200 acres of what is now wildlife area were salt evaporation ponds used to produce sea salt for local fish canneries. Considerable whaling stations and sardine fisheries were fully operational at Moss Landing. And by the 1950s, overfishing had collapsed the entire industry. Elkhorn Slough is an exceptional place to visit and explore, whether it's by paddleboard, kayak, or by foot with a pair of binoculars. You are sure to have a great time in this wonder of nature. In California, 90% of the coastal wetlands and estuaries have been lost. Remaining estuaries, like Elkhorn Slough, are highly productive and harbor a tremendous diversity of life. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Join me next time with Brooke on the Road. Ooh, God. Join me next time with Brooke on the Road. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time with Brooke on the Road.